Welcome back to the Basics of Gardening. I'm Andrea Candenosa, and today we're going to discuss pollinators and why they're the unsung heroes of gardening. Before we talk about pollinators, let's discuss what pollination is. Pollination is when pollen moves from the male part of the flower, the anther, to the female part of the flower, the stigma. Through this process, flowers are produced along with seeds and fruit. According to Pollination Partnership, somewhere between 75% and 95% of all flowering plants on the earth need help with pollination, or 180,000 different plant species and more than 1,200 crops. That means that 1 out of every 3 bites of food you eat is there because of pollinators. If we want to talk dollars and cents, pollinators add $217 billion to the global economy, and honeybees alone are responsible for between 1.2 and 5.4 billion dollars in agricultural productivity in the United States. As you can see, pollination is very important to the environment, and we must thank pollinators for their hard work. When we think of pollinators, we often think of bees, and of course they're important, but we must also thank birds, bats, butterflies, moths, flies, beetles, wasps, and other small mammals. The pollinators usually pick up the pollen on their body when they're eating the nectar or pollen of the flowers, and they spread them to other plants by flying around or taking breaks on top of the plants. Pollinators are so important because without them, we wouldn't be able to go out and buy so many types of foods from the grocery stores, or we wouldn't have that much to eat. Since all of our energy comes from plants, either directly from eating the plants or indirectly through eating animals, it's so important that we take care of our pollinators. This can be done in a number of ways. One way to do that is by planting plants that are specifically targeted towards pollinators. If you want to pick a plant that's attractive for hummingbirds, choose ones that are red. And when choosing flowers for hummingbirds, make sure to choose ones that hold the most nectar and have the most space for their tongue. Some good flower options are bee balms, columbines, daylilies, lupines, foxgloves, hollyhocks, cleomes, impatiens, and petunias. If you want to plant plants that are attractive to bees, choose ones that are purple, blue, white, or yellow. Bees like flowers like alyssum, cleome, zinnias, sunflowers, salvia, calendula, and verbena. They also like herbs like sage, thyme, borage, lavender, chives, dill, basil, oregano, rosemary, and mint. Another way to help pollinators is by providing them with shelter and water. Shelter can come in the form of a nearby tree, bush, or anywhere to provide them with shade. Water also can be from a sprinkler going on for a little bit every day because hummingbirds love for water to be in the air. Or it can be a little dish of water for the bees, but make sure to check on the state of the water often so that there are no small bugs or eggs inhabiting the water as well. Finally, a way to help pollinators is by not scaring them away or even killing them. I know that it's easy to kill something that you see flying around, or yell, or shoo them away, but with pollinators, you want to make sure that when a pollinator is pollinating a flower, you don't bother them, because your flowers really need that pollen to grow. Another thing that can harm or kill pollinators is the use of pesticides. In my first video, Introduction to Gardening, we discussed what pesticides are, but if you need a little quick reminder, pesticides are any substance used to kill, repel, or control certain forms of plant or animal life that are considered to be pests. Because of this, the chemicals in the pesticides may end up also harming the pollinators. I'm not saying that you can't use pesticides in your garden, but if you're trying to attract pollinators, be careful where you place the pesticide so that doesn't end up going anywhere else. If there's anything that you should take from this video, I hope that it's a new sense of appreciation for bees and all the other pollinators. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please remember not to harm a pollinator when you see one. See you next time!